Good morning, Ida Sampson with News Behind the Heart. There is an epidemic going across America, our state, our homes, and even in our churches. Today we have live David Sampson, who will go into depth on the news behind the heart. David?
I'm telling you, this has been a fascinating study, and Lou Priola has just come out with a new study on how to handle sexual temptation. We were just baffled by the statistics that were out there that how many men do struggle with this area of sexual temptation. And he gives 9 ways how to overcome sexual temptation, how to handle it. And we're just going to touch base on really just a quick few of them. And the first one is to identify the source of your temptation. And he makes reference to the fact that in James chapter number 1, the source is our own hearts and our own lusts. He also, the second way he said to handle it was through, and I quote, develop the mindset of a soldier. And he said, carries the idea that we've got to have the idea that we are going to win this battle, we are going to win. And it's a long war. And he said that we can expect to win some battles and lose some battles, but the idea is that in the long run, we are to be victorious because we have the mindset of a warrior. And let me just touch base real quick on 3 things that he did say was very important. The first one was this: the battlefield is fought in our thought life. He said that's the very first important battlefield, and the Christian male has got to win there, stop the sexual temptation right then and there. The second one was the sinful habits, sinful actions, which lead to the sinful habits, which can in bondage and enslave really anyone, and it totally destroys them. The last one we were going to talk about was, and this was really fascinating to me, was remove the provision from the flesh by mortifying the illicit sexual fantasies. And that really carries with the idea of mortifying or taking captive every thought. And he uses the reference Romans 13 and verse 14. Really fascinating story. We'd love to go into a little more detail on this, and maybe we'll do that later on in a later segment. But fascinating story. I'm telling you, we want to get this out to everyone, how to handle sexual temptation. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, David Sampson. Yes, it's been a pleasure this morning. Ida Sampson with David Sampson on the topic of sexual purity and sexual temptation. Tune in this whole week as David Sampson goes further depth of the heart. News Behind the Heart.